Okay, it's just me again. I'm gonna read this and do this. Make this real long. Hopefully, I can do this within 15 minutes. Okay, when I prayed, this will come to me. Today's date is 5/16/2026 at 1:54 p.m. Hold on. The man broke out of this. I'm trying to wear these glasses to the other. At 1:54 p.m., I got through praying, and then I come to write down what it was that come to me. So as I started to pray, I was reminded of the place where the number 14 was, the number 86, the number 16 was in Genesis chapter 19, verse 15, the things that I was speaking about. I also was told and reminded of Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 9, and was told about a rod of wickedness here in this country. I was reminded about Genesis chapter 19, Isaiah chapter 19, and Revelation 19, and what I was told about that. I was also reminded about the 1,000-year reign with Jesus Christ and the saints in Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. I was told when this was Pope Francis. I was told when Pope Leo. Forgive me, I don't know what it is with this with Pope Francis. I don't know what it is with this. Okay, I was told, help me, Lord. I was told when this with Pope Leo the 14th kept bothering me, I was supposed to pray again about it, and if I would have, that I would have been better prepared. This is the way I received it as it came. Even though it came in another way, I can't fully explain. The voice was so quiet. That was speaking. It's like you hear something, but it's like you hear from within. And when it was speaking, I was understanding what was being said. That's why I just wrote it down the way that I was comprehending it as it was being, spoken. I remember that the most, the way that I was comprehending, the way that it was coming to me, if that makes sense. But anyway, I want to read Ezekiel. I want to read Ezekiel chapter 7, verse 9. And my eyes shall not spare, neither will I have pity. I will recompense thee according to thy ways and thy abominations that are in the midst of thee. And ye shall know that I am the Lord that smiteth. Okay, now, I was told about a rod of wickedness that's here in this country, and this ain't the first time I done received that message. So I understand, it's the things that's going on with those in power that know that they're doing this wrong. Those on both sides and other people that's mixing and mingling. So, it's just a rod of wickedness that's going on here. I know that God took and gave the Republican Party, I believe it's all my heart, all three positions in government so they can do certain things. Certain things they doing and certain things they're not. Okay. I know that they sharing right now because they're not fully listening this part of wickedness that the Democrats have been doing in this country for a while. I know this is going to upset a lot of people, but, the truth is what it is. It's a lot of things that went on under their watch that people won't look at. We will not look at. I'm not saying that everybody in that party was a part of the wickedness, but it was those that was there that knew that things wasn't right, and they should have spoke out about it. Can't align with things that go along or that go against God and think God's going to be in it. And that goes for the Republicans too. Now, I took and read that. Now, we're going to go back to Genesis because in the first video, you will not understand this video at all unless you go back and you watch the second video, where I was getting kind of boggled down by trying to find the 14, because I took the way that kept on bothering me about that. It was like, okay, maybe I just need to get on talking about it and stop. And I was looking at this in the wrong way when I know that I should go back to God and pray about it, just like what come to me. So it just reminded me of what I know. So let's go to Genesis chapter 19, verse 15. That's where I was trying to find the 14. So here we go. Let's read this. And when the morning arose, the angel hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquities of the city. Now we pay attention to this, and we pay so y'all can see what I did, and y'all can go over it, maybe follow it. It might confuse some, and it might not, but I'm gonna try to take and break this down. Now, as I was praying, I got reminded about the 14, the 86, and the 69. So now we know that we are in the year of 5786. We know that. Okay. Now here it is right here. Here it is. The year 5786. Now we got the words. We got 32 words that breaks down to 5 equals 5. You got the letters in the middle equals 7, because you have right here, if you take and pay attention, the middle is 4 and 5. Remember that. The middle is 4 and 5. So the first word that's in the middle is arise. It got 5 letters to it, okay? So you got the 5. The 5 can't be broken down. Now you got, and take thy wife. That's the second middle. 4 and 5 is the middle when you're talking about 8, because 4 is the first half of 8, and then when you get ready to begin the second half of 8, you start off 5, 6, 7, 8. So take thy wife is the second middle. The 11 takes and breaks down to 2. So you got 5 and 2, which equals 7. So now we have right here, we have the words and we have the letters in the middle. That's 7. You have 8 parts to that, okay? You have 8 parts. I just got to talk about the 4 and the 5 is the middle of the 8. So you got the 8, 5, 7, 8. The verse in here is 15. I didn't do that right. It's the 15 verse. So let me take and write this down, because that's the right way to do it, okay? 15 verse equals 6. That's what it should be there. 15 verse equals 6. So you got 586 there. Now when you take and do that, you get the year. Now let's start off right here where we take it and we take it and we doing it, okay? The 19 breaks down to 10. 1 plus 9 is 10 equals 1. So we take and break everything. The verse is 15, it breaks down to 6. The first middle is 4 when you come to it. The second middle is 5, okay? And when you do add both of them together, you get 9. So there's the words 32 is 5. The parts is 8. So when you take and do that with the parts right here, you got the 1 and the 5 is 6 plus 8 is 14. So you got the first 14 now, okay? Now let's go to the second 14. You got both the middles. You got the first middle is 4, the second middle is 5, and then you got right here the first letter in the thing when you take and do it, which I showed y'all right here, arise, you get the number 5. So you get right here when you're doing it in the process, because you go words, letters, word, with the middle. You can line any of this up with the middle, because it's always about the middle. So you got 4 and 5 in the middle, and then when you're doing the first letters, which I should have went first and did the first letters with the middle, so that would have helped y'all understand it a little bit better. So do the process in that way. If you're taking and doing the words with the middle, do the words first, then the middle. If you're taking and you're doing the middle with the letters, do the letters first. And then the middle. That'd be the correct way to do it. I did it backwards. I'm so used to it speaking to me backwards that I sometimes do things in that way. So anyway, you got 4 and 5, which we know is 9, plus 5 is 14. So you got the second 14. Now, you got the second 14. Okay. Now the third 14 right here, you going backwards. Okay. You're going backwards. Like I said, I do a lot of things backwards in order to understand it, because remember we're in the year the 86. But you're going backwards, and we're going with the parts and the verse. That's what we're going with. See, that's the verse up there. Parts plus verse. When you do the parts, that's 8. When you do the verse, that's 6. That's 14. So you got the 3 14s there and 86, but I was showing y'all the 3 14s because you reflect on that with Pope Leo the 14th, okay? His birthday is on the 14th, okay, September 14th, in the middle. He elected the name Pope Leo the 14th. That's 14 right there, okay? He's the Pope at the time that we in the middle of the second 7. 2 7s equal 14, and we got 14 years to go in the cycle of the 21. So you got the 314 shown in Genesis chapter 19, verse 15, and the verse is specific on what's being said. I'm being told about a rod of wickedness. Now here go the verse. And when the morning arose, the angel hastened Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquities of the city. Okay, now remember, I was told about a rod of wickedness, and now this verse right here has the 3 14s in it that lines up with this, with Pope Leo the 14th. Thank you, Lord, for now let me call him Pope Francis. Thank you for that. Now, here it is. I just showed you the 86. Now, here it is, the 69. Okay, here it is, the 69. Now, you got the verse which breaks down to 15. Okay. The verse 15 breaks down to 6. This Lord. 15 breaks down to 6. So you had a 6 right there. Now you taking and you're going directly to the middle. The middle first has 4. The middle second has 5. 4 and 5 equals 9. So you had a 69. We in the year to 69 right now. We in that year right now. So I got it right when I put it down here. Verse equals 6, and then got the 2 middles, which equal 9. You get 69. See, right? So you got. Let me see. There is anything that. Okay, now here I went on. There's a lot more too. The verse can be spoken. It's something that Pastor Paul said to me at the church that I'm going to right now. He says that you can basically. People taking use the Bible to say anything that they want to say. And that ain't what I want to do. Okay, let me turn this around a little. That ain't what I want to do. I don't want it to make it say what I want to say. I'm just trying to share with y'all how it's speaking to me. So I want to make that clear. And, something that my cousin said is very true. God will speak to you in the way that you understand. And I understand him speaking through me with the words and numbers, because words and numbers were speaking to me way before I even did this. And then y'all that got discerned ones, when I come on from penitentiary 2001, I was telling people then they thought I was crazy. Straight up, way back then. So they speak to you, just pay attention and listen. I was saying different stuff like that and they thought I was crazy. But here it is. When I continue with the process, because I didn't break down all the letters and the words that's in there. When you take and do it all, it'll speak even more. But just from doing this part right here it is. uh, first middle with the words, you got 1. Then you got 5 letters in there, so you got the 5. And then it's the fourth part, right? When you take and you do that, you get the number 10, right? In that verse, if you pay a real close attention to what is being said in that verse, because 10 represents yard. Sorry. 10 represents yard. And you see right here that they've been given a warning. And if you read further on saying, when the morning rose, then the angel hastened Lot, saying, arise, take thy wife and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquities of the city. If you continue to read on down through that chapter, you will see that God's hand takes a move against them. 10 represents Yah. What do we have here? We have the number 10 in the first part. Now let's move over to the second part. Here we hear the second middle, because you got the first middle, the second middle. SP stands for second middle, FM first middle. Okay? Then we take it and we're going on down. You got 3 words in the second middle. You got it's the fifth part, and you got 11 letters in it. Now watch this. You got 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 11 is 19. So you got 19 here, right? Now here it is. 19 equals 10. 10 equals 1. Now here it is. We got 10 showing twice in the middle. So this is showing that not only one of God's hands is moving, but 2 of his hands is moving. Both his hands is moving against this wickedness that's going on here. And here it is, out of the 2 tens, you get the number 1. So you got 11 there. 11 speaks to, look at it real good. 11 speaks to disorder. What's going on in Sodom and Gomorrah? Disorder. What happens? Judgment came. Okay? And it's a mystery to some that why it happened, but to us that seek God, we know why it's happened. To us that's paying attention to what's going on, we know why the things are the way that they are in here. And all we have to do is pay attention to those in leadership that's embracing this same thing that was going on in Sodom and Gomorrah. And we'll know who the enemy is, and we'll know why God's hand's getting ready to move. Because his hand is getting ready to move. If we continue to go down this path that we're going, and this goes for both sides, Republicans and the Democrats, because like I said, he gave y'all all 3 for a reason, because there's some big things that need to be done. And I know it's a man and woman of God that have access to you that I really believe love God. I don't know why they're not speaking to you about some of the stuff that's going on with you, President Trump. I believe that God put you in there for a reason. But some things that you're saying that's, and the way that you're saying them, I believe that it's linked to a spirit of pride. I done said this. I've been saying this ever since 2018, 2019. So I'm not just getting on here because other people starting to say it now. I've been saying it. And I believe that's the only reason why you didn't get put in for the other 4 years in the first time, because you was meant to have 2 terms, but God wanted to take and get your attention because the way that he wanted to use you. You're doing some things that needs to be done, but you're not really listening to take and do all of what God needs you to do in this period. So the people can really see, you know what I mean? All they seeing right now, and I'm speaking from the heart when I say that. I'm not speaking because, other people are saying it. I'm speaking from the heart because I know you're in there for a reason. All they seeing right now is pride and arrogance. Now, certain things that you have to do that they're going to get upset with, and God will take care of that part. But there's certain things that are being said and that you've done that's coming from pride and arrogance. That's where that's coming from. I have to be careful of that. You have to be careful of that. He has you in there for a reason. For a reason. And there's some things you're doing that people don't understand. But it's also some things that you're doing to where the people don't want to receive or want to be guided because they saying the pride and arrogance. Don't give them that. Don't give them that. It's certain things that you doing that's taken away from the good stuff that you're doing too. You know, that with that FBI agent and all that, all that's doing is giving them ammunition. What God wants you to do is real big, and you had an opportunity. Y'all got all three. And if y'all push to really, really do the right thing, y'all will keep all three. If not, we're going to be in trouble. We're going to end up losing both. Matter of fact, might end up losing all three. I'm hoping not, because once that happens, we in trouble. Because there's certain things that you are doing need to be done. And I'm going to say it again, like I said in the last video, I'm going to get off. Y'all can't make deals with people like that. You can't make deals with them. You shouldn't have never went in there if you weren't going to finish it. That will cost us in the next 3 or 4 years. It'll be real short in the time span that it will cost us if that's not finished. Plain and simple. You can't deal with them. And if you weren't going to take care, you shouldn't have never messed with the hornet's nest or the bee nest, beehive. Should have left it alone. Plain and simple. Anyway, I'm going to get off of y'all and show y'all that this is real important that we pay attention to that last part that I did. First middle, second middle. You end up with 10-10 with both of God's hands that moved against Sodom and Gomorrah. Why you get the number 11? The first thing that you see when the number 11, if you really understand, the first thing that you get from that is disorder. If you're going in the process of highest reveal, disorder, judgment, mystery, and mastery. The mystery comes of the people that don't understand, the people that do understand. It's a mystery to those that ain't really paying attention to what God's saying, but the mystery is being revealed to those that are listening to what God is saying. And they know, okay, we know that this right here is pointing to Sodom and Gomorrah, and disorder. We understand it because of things that we seeing, but those that's not looking at it for what it is like when stuff begin to happen, it be a mystery to them. They don't understand it because they're not paying attention to what the word is saying, the signs. All the signs are there of Sodom and Gomorrah here. All of them here. Ancient Babylon, ancient Egypt, all of them. God used to give me visions. I used to have these visions all the time when I'd be praying. And sometimes I go in trance, I would see Pharaoh riding around with that thing on his head, and you had that snake emblem. He would be riding the gold chariot all across the country. I would have visions of the Buddha statue. It wasn't a statue, it was like a spirit in the spirit realm in this nation. The Hindu god, and I said, okay, this is I was thinking, okay, this is a boiling pot. That makes sense for me to be saying that. Got all the different nationalities here. But he was revealing to me that all these old gods, all these gods that people worship, and all these Buddha, the Hindu gods, the old ancient pharaoh spirit, he was revealing that to me, and I wasn't understanding. It went to 7 to 8 years later that I started, okay, God giving a warning, this is what this nation is becoming. He's letting all them old gods in. Even before Jonathan Kahn worked the book on that, I was telling y'all about seeing those spirits. I told y'all back in 2016 about 5 principalities that I seen on the East Coast, like in Virginia, Washington, D.C., New Jersey, New York. I was giving that warning way back then. I was giving a warning way back then by seeing them different spirits ride throughout here. I was giving a warning by seeing the hands on all 4 sides of this country started going down to the fingertip. I gave all those warnings. But But anyway, I'm gonna get up over here. We at a point we're gonna either listen to God or both of God's hands gonna move against us. This is what is being revealed to me. And y'all that got discernment, y'all will know if it's just me dealing in my feelings and me speaking to myself, y'all will know. Because it got some real men and women of God out here. There's some real ones out here that love God. You got some real prophets. You got some real teachers. They're out here. So I just hope that, more of us be aware of all the signs that God's given us so we can turn to him so he can have us prepared for what's to come. Because we're going to need his guidance if this continue to go this way. And then certain things got to be revealed, got to manifest. I almost got off here without reading Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. So let me read that because that also comes to me when I was praying. Revelation chapter 20, verse 6, because that's the 1,000-year speech about the 1,000-year reign. Let me read it. Let the word talk for itself. Okay. Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. Hold on. And put it on here, and then I'm getting off here. Revelation chapter 20, verse 6. Blessed and holy is he that has part in the first resurrection. On such, the second death has no power, but they shall be priests of God and of Christ, and shall reign with him 1,000 years. Okay, I was reminded about that. Like I told y'all, I was reminded about the 1,000-year reign. That it won't be to where everybody gonna be wiped out. He gonna come here and he gonna rule for 1,000 years. It's written in the word, but it's some things that's gonna happen before that happen, and we enter into that cycle. That's what I'm trying to reveal to y'all. So you see how certain spirits are up in the church, and I'm talking about just ruling. Y'all see this, and y'all. Some people are ignorant of it, and they're embracing it unknowingly. Like God was telling me stuff, and I just didn't want to hear it. Don't be like me. You ain't got to make the mistakes, man. And he raising up some young people right now, man. Ooh, Jesus Christ. That's a powerful name. It ain't going to just be no one Philip Michael Anthony, no one Victoria Renzi, or no one Tiffany Montgomery. He's touching people just like that in a big way. That's why he's raising them up to do what they're doing. And I hope people don't let that go with the college campus that Charlie Kirk was doing, because that was one of the most beautiful things in the world. Our people that they need to know. They battle with so much when they be away at school, all different kind of things. They need somebody to be on there talking to them, going and showing up in them places that know that word, filled with the Holy Spirit. So I hope y'all, y'all that can do it can pick that up. I struggle with remembering stuff, but once I get warmed up, I can go there too, but I know that he's raising up young people to be able to reach other young people. So, don't y'all make the mistakes I made. And when you know there's something that's wrong and you don't know how to deal with it, seek him. And when he tell you to do something, make sure that it's him, and don't be afraid to speak out about it. But make sure that it's him, okay? And don't stand in them places that, you think light is there, but it ain't nothing but darkness. And all the men and women of God want to do is eat off of you, because they do that. You do got predators in the church. I've learned that. Anyway, have a blessed day. Love y'all. Okay, I do everything. Everything I got on me, I did. All right.